just right, almost to the top of that, just right underneath that.
Of that yellowish, lighter colored bush?
Yeah, but about halfway up to that tree, there's a little bit of outcrop.
So it wasn't a call at the top of that pointed top?
No.
And what did it do? Which way did it go?
It just turned and came, it took about, what looked like to me about 2 steps into that opening, and then went straight up over the top.
So it took 2 steps that way?
This way.
Up to the left.
And then straight up and over the top.
So probably right over the top, so either right over the top or it went behind that big rounded bush?
Exactly. You want me to stay down here?
No, we can go up there. I don't care.
Okay, this is the deer.
Thanks.
This is the doe that was experiencing some trauma and actually gave birth to a stillborn.
So we were right.
Yeah, she didn't even get through it.
I want to go up there. You want to go?
Okay.
Want to go up there?
Or do you want me to stay down here and give you a comparison?
May have had more than one.
No,
May have another fawn in her.
Can you hike up there?
Yeah.
Because he's probably the tallest one here.
He's giving us that first.
And then you can tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think we can yell?
Yeah, because we don't got both there.
I'm gonna walk into my car.
We gotta get that. We ought to walk up there and see if we can walk up behind it.
I'm going to.
I don't know.
I think we need to do a lot of documentation of the area.
And the whole time I got up in here, we were about 30 minutes before. Well, when we first walked up in here.
About what time
probably,
is this?
When I seen this, it was about 30 to 45 minutes before dark.
Okay.
So we'd walk back up in here probably around 6:37. I should walk back up in a little ways and was just hanging out. The whole time I was in this, it just didn't feel right.
So it probably followed you out. It probably knew and just kind of followed you.
It was just an uneasy feeling. And so we come down, we were sitting there, and it was actually about, I was probably only no more than 100 yards up, not even that far, 50 yards when I heard the scream.
Scream from the doe?
I think it was a doe getting in pain, is what I think. And I listened, and I heard some sheep. I'm like, I hear sheep. And then it did it again. And I thought it was a lion killing a deer, because that's what it said. Because it sounded like a big doe bleed, like a dying rabbit almost.
Yeah.
And I told the lion, let's get the hell out of here. I don't want to be right here if there's a lion killing a deer.
Yeah.
And I come down the trail on the other side of the tree. I come right here, and that thing stood up from me to that bush. And I seen that fawn hang out, and I thought it was a lion on the back of that thing. It scared the living hell out of me. So, but it stood up, and then that's when I seen how it had that stillborn baby in there. And she was all but done. And God, she's...
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So we stood here for 20 minutes saying, like, what the hell I didn't have my knife on me. I would have just slit her throat. She was done.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, try to pull the baby out. And I only got, it was just the tip of the head and the feet that was hanging out. And I got it out about yay far. And then the legs started pulling off. I'm like, I'm done. This is freaking nasty.
It
stinks.
It was
But
already
it smelled like
bad
the
shape.
baby had been dead for like probably a day or two in it because it was stiff.
Yeah.
It was just nasty smelling. So I don't know.
She'd gotten down this far trying to have it or something.
Because she had to, because we walked up. But we didn't walk up this trail. We walked up right here. So if she was laying right there, I don't know how the hell I would have missed her coming up the canyon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right here, a little bit farther up, and just kind of stumbled her way down. But
Probably.
I really should just go put that drone up. I could have been up and down this thing 10 times by the time we made it up.
Well, you brought it.
Yeah, go use a battery on it. We're on property you can use it on.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
you get back up here farther, and it's just thick and shady. And just,
Oh yeah. Well, take a walk up in there for a bit. But yeah, that's wild, dude. That you, exactly.
This isn't very far away from Casey's sighting in June of last year.
And tried to
you
get
know.
her.
It's kind of odd that it's so close
Baby
to the road, but
out.
you got the water there and everything else, so I don't,
Yeah, that's where she was heading.
Kind of makes me wonder whether or not it actually was following you guys out and just happened, or this brought it out.
Because like I say, we walked, I don't know.
How long did you hear her cries for before you found her? Or scream?
And then
That's plenty of
it was
time
a few
for
minutes that I
predators
went
to...
by, and then I heard it, and I immediately saw a lion on a deer, and I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. I'll be up here with a cat.
Yeah, around a cat's kill.
Exactly. And that's when, and like I said, when that thing stood up and I seen that fawn, something hanging off its back a little bit, I was like, oh God, we're dead. I thought it was a cat.
Yeah.
Because I could see it, because it had kind of some of the shit hanging out of it too, like and all that stuff into the hay, so it was about that long hanging out of the back of the deer. And it was just
Too much for her.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt actually getting some of you guys up wandering around too, because
we'd walk back up in.
I really should.
And the whole time I got up in here, we were about 30 minutes before. Well, when we first walked up in here,
About what
it was
time
probably,
is this?
when I seen this,
Yeah,
it
when
was
it
about
happens.
30 to 45 minutes before dark.
Okay.
And we'd walk back up in here probably around 6:37ish. Walk back up into the ways and was just hanging out. The whole time I was in this, it just didn't feel right.
So it
It
probably
just
followed you out. It probably knew and just kind of followed you.
It was just an uneasy feeling. And so we come down, we were sitting there, and it was actually about, I was probably only no more than 100 yards up, not even that far, 50 yards when I heard the scream. I'm like, no.
Scream from the dog.
I think it was a dog in pain, is what I think. And I listened, and I heard some sheep. I'm like, I hear sheep. And then it did it again. And I thought it was a lion killing a deer, because that's what it said. Because it sounded like a big doe bleat, like a dying rabbit almost.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, that's a lion. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't want to be right here if there's a lion killing a deer.
Yes.
And I come down the trail on the other side of the tree. I come right here, and that thing stood up from me to that bush. And I seen that fawn hang out, and I thought it was a lion on the back of that thing. It scared the living hell out of me. So, but it stood up, and then that's when I seen it had that stillborn baby in there. And she was all but done. And God, she's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So we stood there for 20 minutes seeing, like, what the hell I didn't have my knife on me.
Yeah.
I would have just slit her throat.
Yeah.
She was done.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, try to pull the baby out. And I only got, it was just the tip of the head and the feet that was hanging out. And I got it out about yay far. And then the legs started pulling off. I'm like, I'm done. This is freaking nasty.
It
It
was
stinks.
It was
But
already
it smelled
in
like
bad
the
shape.
baby had been dead for like probably a day or two in it because it was stiff.
Yeah.
And it was just nasty smelling. So I don't know.
She'd gotten down this far trying to have it or something.
Because she had to, because we walked up. But we didn't walk up this trail. We walked up right here. So if she was laying right there, I don't know how the hell I would have missed her coming up the canyon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right here, a little bit farther up, and just kind of stumbled her way down. But
Probably.
I really should just go put that drone up. I could have been up and down this thing 10 times by the time they made it up.
Well,
there.
you brought it.
Yeah, go use a battery on it. We're on property you can use it on.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
you get back up here farther, and it's just thick and shady. And just,
Oh yeah. Well, take a walk up in there for a bit. But yeah, that's wild, dude. That you. Exactly.
This isn't very far
Yeah,
away
you
from
came up
Casey's
on
sighting in June of last year.
And
I
tried
thought,
to
you
get
know.
her.
It was kind of odd that it was so close
Baby
to the road.
out.
You got the water there and everything else, so I don't,
Yeah, that's where she was heading.
Kind of makes me wonder whether or not it actually was following you guys out and just
it was-
happened, or this brought it out.
Because like I say, we walked. I don't know. God, I don't know.
How long did you hear her cries for before you found her? Or screams?
So she heard it, and then
That's plenty of
it was a
time
few
for
minutes that I
predators
went
to.
by, and then I heard it, and I immediately saw lying on a deer, and I'm like, let's get the hell out of here.
Uh-huh.
I'll be up here with a cat. You know.
Yeah, around a cat's kill.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that's when, and like I said, when that thing stood up and I seen that fawn, something hanging off its back a little bit, I was like, oh god, we're dead. I thought it was a cat.
Yeah.
Because I could see it, because it had kind of some of the shit hanging out of it too, the
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and then the hay, so it was about that long hanging out of the back of the deer. And it was just,
Too much for her.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt actually getting some of you guys up wandering around too, because
Just
he's
right
just
there,
right there.
But we
so I was actually going to come back. I was trying to get off work Monday night because I wanted to come back up and see if this deer is here. And see if there's any sign around it, because I'm like, well, come Wednesday, if the predators have got it, that whole sign's going to be destroyed for predators. But I'm surprised
But that tells you
I'm
nobody's
surprised
Nothing's even touched it.
Because there was a couple coyotes howling too,
Was there?
and I can't believe nothing's touched it.
It might not have been a coyote.
I don't know what I've never been into squatching.
Well,
I've watched
I
on
mean,
TV
it would
and
be
stuff,
something
interesting, but
easily
I wouldn't
mistaken
I
for
wouldn't
it.
know what I'm looking for going out here.
Or they mimic other animals
Then again, you
to not be
saw it.
Coyote
detected.
was pretty big though.
Could have been a
What I see-
could have been a howlet, and others know that you're in the area.
It was that clear and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it was,
Because this isn't touched by coyotes, you know. That's amazing. She hasn't been touched yet. That Bigfoot you seen you near the dying doe, and it's never come back for it.
and it caught me by such a surprise. And it's like, I asked myself, how far am I? God, I don't know. 75 yards. I didn't really. I wasn't judging.
Sending my
what the hell it was.
eyes behind the hill. It only looked like right there. Right?
I'm gonna go put the battery
I don't know. I want to walk up to where.
I'm gonna grab my.
on up and around here, and
I still don't even see him up over this
You want to take us up to where it was standing, or is that
I
like
want
clear
to
the...
stay right
He's
here
giving
because
them
he wants
directions
to.
first.
Okay.
He wants to do the size.
They're going to do a size comparison?
Yeah,
Okay.
So I want to stay down here and see.
So did he keep his profile to you the whole time, or does he look straight at you at all ever?
From what I could see, it looked like it was straight at me.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned and went that way, and then it went that way.
Oh.
It took like 2 to 3 steps into the opening, because it was right at the edge of the opening on this side of the opening.
Yeah.
And it was kind of snug next to it, but it was dark black, and that's how I could tell it was something different up there.
Yeah.
But it was
Like
just
moose black.
yeah, it was just really dark. But when it
So-
turned this way, it wasn't a moose because it was on 2 feet.
Yeah.
You could tell, and
But
it
that
didn't,
same kind of darkness.
and you could see it didn't have much of a neck. It just kind of looked like it was kind of humped a little bit.
So it was not nervous at all. It was just kind of lumbering along.
Yeah,
Just-
it was. I don't know how long it had been standing there. I don't know if it was watching this whole thing I was doing down here.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the deer.
So which tree was it initially standing behind?
Okay, you see where I was looking. You see up on the ridge, the big, tall, dark pine.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the
The
juniper
really
looking one?
thick juniper one.
Uh-huh.
And then there's kind of, I don't know what the hell those are. If that's a quakey next to it or what it is, but they're kind of
Uh-huh.
to the left.
Yeah.
And then you can see the tip of what looks like a really dark pine.
Uh-huh.
It was right next to that edge of that stuff right there.
And that's, okay, so they're headed right there now.
Yeah.
All right.
I still don't see them guys.
I caught a glimpse of them right here. That is farther than what I thought it was. Though. It's probably about 150 yards, isn't it?
This isn't going to be too friendly to leave prints and stuff.
No.
It's not going to be friendly at all.
So I told Clint, I'm like, this shit's so thick and nasty and dry up there.
You might get a powder print if
you're
it,
lucky.
yeah.
We're lucky.
But there isn't going to be the powder up there that there is down here because this is a walk trail.
Yeah. I'm gonna go grab a cigarette out of my truck real fast.
Right on.
I noticed that there's a lot of twisted branches along over here. You know?
Oh. Is that what I'm looking at?
They're bending, they're looking.
I don't even see 'em.
They're bending over.
They're bending over
Very
looking
top,
at the
looking
ground.
at bushes, looking at something.
They're totally,
They
Watching the
must
ridge.
bounce on 'em, 'cause they're up there just.
yeah.
bounce on 'em.
So I don't even see them. So are they right where I showed them?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I thought you were pointing on this side of the juniper. They're on this
the
side.
left side, up on the very top.
It happened on the right side of the juniper,
No.
right?
The left side of the juniper. See this?
This big one right here in front of us?
Yeah. See this great big one you saw on the 50-yard ridge,
Yeah.
and then the small one, the great big one on the middle, on the second ridge, the big dark one up on the top ridge,
That's cool.
and then there's the scrubby oak looking
Okay,
trees to
that's
the left of it.
that's where I thought.
The scrubby oak. It was right. It wasn't next to the juniper. It was next to the scrubby oak looking trees.
All right.
And then there's that little 10-yard opening in the middle.
Uh-huh.
It was just to the right of the opening against the edge of the trees there. And then it walked into that opening and then went up and over the top.
So he was how tall was he to that?
God, it's how it looks now. It's actually daylight. You can see the top in that little scrubby looking stump. There's a really dark tip of it. Looks like a pine in it, behind it. Come down from it. It was probably, and there's a little branches that kind of stick out this way of it.
Okay.
It was right almost to the top of those little branches. Not the very top of them, but the bottom part of them that were sticking out. I still don't see those guys.
So did he look like he was wild
They're
when he was tall?
He was.
We got a
I told Clint,
got a couple of guys up there looking for footprints, and
I still don't see those guys.
they're also up there so we can get a size comparison when they get to the right location. But it looks like they found something of interest up there. I'm sure I'm going to end up there filming some of what they're finding.
Oh, they're not even close to the right spot.
They probably.
They're acting interested in something up there,
probably
though.
got his trackways, what they did.
Yeah, because they need to go this way now.
He was probably walked along the ridge watching you guys for a while, or watching the deer.
He was probably more interested in what was going on right here.
Derek's sending Squawk up. There's Squawk. He's gonna get us an aerial view of the area, and hopefully if it's still hanging out, we might catch it.
It depends on if there's a resident around here. If that one like lives around here,
Yeah.
and he's protecting his other.
God, I want to go up there and see what they found.
God, it's hot. Did you walked right up there? You said and looked around it.
I was just looking for any other activity. They're there.
noticed as I went up this canyon, there's a bunch of big ass holes dug all over the ground. I don't know if it's badger. What the hell it is? There's just holes dug everywhere. It looks like badger to me. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a strong gust of wind.
How good's that thing in the wind?
It can drop like a rock if
Can
it
it?
gets
It,
balanced.
it depends on the GPS
The only
hits
reason
it's
I come
getting
up here
too.
Sunday is we were down fishing, and the wind is blowing so damn hard. Fishing sucks. Let's go for a walk. And I'm come up that side. I'm like, screw it. There's only two of us. So let's walk up this thick stuff, you know.
Uh-huh. Oh, that don't sound good.
Right there.
Oh, he's way up there. You guys ever found a whole lot of stuff before?
We've gotten one. We got a Sasquatch-shaped creature that stepped out of some trees, looked up at it, and stepped back in.
Oh, really?
It's shaped like it, but we didn't get anything definitive to be able to scream that's what it was. But it looks a hell of a lot like one, and it's moving too. Right above a canyon, people keep having sightings.
Yeah.
Right up at the top in some cover and stuff that it stepped out and back in. We were hoping they'd be more curious of it than afraid, so. Looks like we found where the doe may have been bedding down that died giving birth down there
Probably
by
spooked,
Mike and Curtis.
probably spooked by the witness Curtis coming down out of here. It heard him coming, and she's vulnerable. Probably got up and tried getting out of Dodge.
Whatever happened, she screamed for 10 minutes before he found her.
So what caught our attention here is it looks like a bedding spot.
Yeah.
Soft dirt. Even kind of looked like a print here. But if you look at it further, what you're looking at is probably the hind legs of a deer laying down. You see some hoof prints in there. And this doe was giving birth. So she was probably bedded down here to actually give birth. And had to get up and move.
We're getting a call up
Not
front,
sure
I think.
what,
Yeah.
not sure what spooked it. Let's go.
All right, Brody found something. Okay, because back this direction's where the Bigfoot was that Curtis sighted 3 days ago. This is one of the quickest places that we've ever gotten into a location. Yeah.
See how it is?
Yep.
See if you get closer, you can see the fingers.
People are gonna have a hard time seeing that.
You know what? When they climb something steep like this, they put their hands down sometimes. I don't care
Go
if
off
people. I don't care if people are having a hard time seeing it. I'm gonna film it. Ain't walking past the friggin' handprint. Check that out.
It would have been this direction that would have. I thought I saw footprints. You found probably the deer's bedding spot.
I know. Derek don't care about the handprint.
Oh, I do.
Just kidding.
I know it came from this direction.
Check this out. That is a weird print. I'm not sure what it is. But look. See this? See that?
Yeah.
That's something. Look at this, that.
You know, all I gotta say is that handprint,
It's going this way,
badass. That's
too.
probably one of
Yeah.
the best
And
handprints
that
we've ever
definitely
had.
looks like a
Look
hill.
how splayed that is. What is that?
And it looks like a hill.
Like, look how big that is. What I'm looking at though, do you see that, Kelly? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's just kind of like, it's not what I'm normally used to seeing. You know what I mean?
There. Oh, you got a foot?
Well, there's my boot. My boot's 13 inches long. So,
It's got a splay of 8. 10.
it's a good display if that is indeed a
What it
toe.
is.
It's just not good enough, you know what I mean?
Well, I know they've been finding some good stuff up on the top.
I mean, here's something right here. See that? Something's been coming through here.
Something with flat feet.
Yeah, see that? That's a pretty wide foot.
I can also see toes up here. Like it stepped right here. That's a good sized footprint if that's the whole footprint, and it really is crushed the sagebrush.
Well, like it did with this grass. This grass actually is all matted down, all broken off and matted down right where that other print you guys just...
I think he came from here. Here's another one. Right here.
He walked this line right here.
This is another footprint.
He's even smashed down some of this milkweed.
Or impression, sorry.
Look at this.
Wow.
This hill's full of milkweed. I mean, deer and elk just love sagebrush, and then the milkweed grows right into it, and people can eat milkweed. You know, hell, the Bigfoot may be able to eat the milkweed and the sagebrush. Who knows? Sagebrush, if it's the big sagebrush, it has 4 times the protein levels as any other type of range grasses or range vegetation. It's another footprint that Brody found. This is between the sighting location, the deer, and the Bigfoot that the guy actually seen up on the mountain. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the toes up here and the hill back here, but this is a 17-inch footprint. My boot's 13 inches long. I've got it right by the hill now, and it looks to us, this is about the 3rd or 4th footprint that we've found so far on the hillside between the deer and where he spotted it, and it's congruent with the other ones. I mean, I think we're dealing with one that has at least a 17-inch footprint.
It's down there somewhere.
We have found 7 impressions working our way up here that look like 17-inch or better.
Coming from where?
Up this way.
Zigzagging up this way, we've
This way.
right up to this spot.
Coming from down there?
Below it,
Yes, between the dead deer and here, and one handprint. One of the best handprints that we've seen.
Do you know
Yeah.
do you remember where that was? Show me when we go down.
We can work our way down, and
Yeah, show me when we go down.
they're looking for some more up here too. Did you guys see any impressions or anything up there?
Where you're standing, there's a it's been over.
So dry. Let's see. Where did I leave my pack, Clint? It's on a shelf somewhere around here.
Down below me, I walked up above it.
We need to find that handprint for these guys again. I think that's the most impressive impression that I've seen today. I think that handprint's terrific. and a couple of those footprints. I mean, you just get one of those footprints and you look at them and it's like, yeah, maybe it's a coincidence. But we just found 7 of them that are all around 17 inches in length. That's a pattern in a place that somebody just saw something 3 days ago.
I was just talking about the proportion of the fingers to the palm.
I saw fingertips a lot higher up than you were.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's possible. I mean, possible.
We need to get back to it and film it and take pictures of it.
How close did I get to you guys with that drone? You didn't see the drone flying up above you? No kidding. I put it right over your guys' head. I took it up from this hillside and said, you know what? And actually, if you look, you can almost see a part. You almost see a part other than the foot designates this way, but you can almost see a part in the foliage that it goes up this.
We show them where the hand and the foot is.
Okay, right here. It's hard to see, but back here, there's actually a squared off thumb. Basically, it looks like it is imprinted and knocked out the actual, here's the palm of it. It may be sitting on knuckles, maybe be a little bit smaller hand, but it actually looks splayed like a pinky's on the other far side of this root. And then it looks like this is a right hand, basically from here. And then if you look just right up above this, and this is kind of difficult to actually get to. I don't want to jack something up.
This is steep, and we usually only find handprints on really steep stuff, by the way.
This was actually an actual footprint.
Let me get this sagebrush out of the way.
Right here, where you actually see that it had stepped.
And it does look like the 17-incher we've been finding.
Toes right up here splayed, right underneath all those weeds right there, and down.
They haven't been the most definitive. We've been having to find them in
tough,
places where it stepped in the dust, but where we're finding them, they're about 17 inches. And that handprint looks like it's about an 11-inch long to the tops of the fingers.
Tops of the fingers.
Uh-huh.
And just look at how wide this is. Okay, and how we actually come to the conclusion of this is we're about
20 yards.
20 yards.
Maybe less
50 feet,
from where he's seen it.
Where they saw it, and it come right up this direction.
See the plant directly in front of us? He saw it off to the left of that. Let me zoom in on it. That plant right there, he saw it to the left of it. It zigzagged its way back up here after he saw it, until it disappeared over the ridge. And Brody's up there looking for more.
Which, in honesty,
evidence.
He went over the ridge pretty quick. I mean, it would explain why he may have dropped down to hands and feet to basically hide his location. He didn't actually go over the ridge. He just dropped down on all fours and took off up this hill. This is a pretty dang steep hill. And why walk it if you can go up it?
Deer and elk are perfectly fine laying down in the sagebrush, and if you think about it, in the morning time, these 2 trees would give him shade to lay behind. It may have been a bedding spot the day before.
Well, it was about 30 minutes before dusk, so he may have been looking for a nice bedding spot.
May use this place a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I'm saying what I'm saying is some of the evidence we're finding here is I don't think that we're just finding evidence of him coming up and down this hill one time.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Some of the stuff does look a little bit older.
I'm thinking he's using this a lot more than we think. You know what? People can't come onto this lake at night. They shut the gates and kick everybody out before 10 p.m. From 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. every animal has this place to themselves. I could see Bigfoot coming down after 10 p.m. to come down and drink at this lake. And all the game that comes with this lake, and no people to intrude upon them. I mean, it's been that way for many, many years. You know that they feel comfortable coming down here at night now.
Put this in relation to RMSO, just so you guys are just aware. We used to come up here a couple times a month, probably, up here crawdad fishing and stuff, just hanging some greasy chicken off the shores back over here, and picking up freaking crawdads all day long.
That's back when it was a washboard dirt road and nobody come back here, and they had no problems with you camping here or even camping on the shoreline. We'd put a tent right up on the shoreline of this lake and crawdad fish all night.
Been coming up here for so dang long, man. Been to the top of probably every mountain around here.
We've hiked the crap out of this place.
Blew my ankle out. This place sucks. Sagebrush kicked my butt.
Yeah. Now that someone's seen a Bigfoot here recently, it's now one of my favorite places again. There's Brody up there looking for more evidence.
We used to run down these stupid hills.
We got 3 different Bigfooting groups up here investigating this sighting, by the way. We're up here looking for evidence of a Bigfoot sighting that just happened recently this week.
A couple days ago.
I've already thrown the helicopter up here once.
I don't know if I did a 360 up here. I probably should have. Pan out. Let him check out that.
Just a second, I'm zooming in on a dark spot that I see across the way. That's the dark spot that I see. It's worth zooming in on. Kind of stands out from the shadows.
Look at this. I mean, look at these far mountains and just like the red rock cliffs. If you look at them, you almost look like a pyramid. And you see one further back that's almost the same type shape.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like pyramids right here in our backyard.
And I just want to show you guys, I mean, I know we're up on a hill that's mostly junipers and sagebrush, but every draw is just full of pines, and you got your quakies, and but the deer, the rabbit, the elk, they just love sagebrush. It's what they eat. It's the biggest part of their diet, and right now it's green and plentiful.
Still not too bad though.
No, that's quiet, isn't it?
It'll get louder. Looks like it's gonna be pretty.
Is that how loud they always are? It's just because of the rotors, right? You can't really put a muffler on the rotors.
This is Kelly Shaw. I'm with the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. I'm up here with Brody, Mike, and Derek, and we're fresh on the heels of Sasquatch. A lot of times we can't say that, but this sighting just happened recently within about 3 days. It happened on June 8th, 2014. We're up near Lost Creek Reservoir, and a gentleman was out there fishing on Sunday, and he got a little bit bored in the afternoon and he wanted to hike. So and I'll pick up the camera and show you around the trailhead and whatever, but he come up here and hiked a little bit, and it was just before dusk. And anyway, he hiked right past this spot, and the deer wasn't here at that point in time. And then he got about 10 minutes into his hike, and he could start to hear the deer screaming in distress. So he worked his way back, and he says he heard it screaming about the whole 10 minutes he come up to it. And he comes up to the deer, and the deer's trying to give birth, and the fetus isn't coming out. And from what I understand, this guy's name's Cutis. From what I understand is he's experienced a little bit with ranching and stuff, so he was trying to help it give birth. He was trying to save the fetus in the deer. And anyway, he was pulling on the crown of it and stuff and trying to pull it out of the deer, and she just couldn't have it. And he stayed with her for about another 10 minutes until she expired. And a little bit after she expired, he noticed there was something up on the hillside watching him. A large, hairy figure. He says it looked like it was probably black, and it was watching him down by the deer that had been screaming for about the previous 10 minutes. And when he looked up at it, it may have noticed him looking up at it, but it went across the clearing and then up over the ridge. We guesstimate it's about 100 to 150 yards from here that he saw it. We sent a gentleman up there. His name's Clint, and he's over 6 foot tall to do a size comparison, and the size comparison that we come up with was about 7.5 feet tall. So it's a good size Squatch. Derek, Brody, and Mike, we scoured this mountainside today, and it isn't the greatest place for footprints, but we've found about 9 impressions, and most of them that we have found look like around a 17-inch footprint. We would normally discard stuff like that because they weren't the greatest. We'll see if they do show up on camera. We also found 2 palm prints that look about 11 inches in length, a couple of times where it looked like it pushed off onto the ground. The palm prints are much better than the footprints. We'll see if they'll show up on tape. But we are finding some physical evidence to back up what he more than likely saw the other night. This area is closed down to camping at night. People have to get out of here at 10 p.m. and it's been this way for about 4 or 5 years. And we've seen a lot of signs of game up here. And so they know that they're not going to be messed by people when they come down to the reservoir to drink. So if the game are here, why not Bigfoot? And this is just a fresh sighting.
Give them a little heads up. If you got a weak
I want to
stomach,
show them the deer.
If you got a weak stomach, don't watch.
Yeah, this deer expired about 3 days ago trying to give birth. It's very sad. I'm not going to put the camera on her for very long, but that's pretty damn sad. Any animal dying giving birth, that's just horrible. But that's the reality of the situation. It's her screams that possibly brought the Bigfoot in. And I'm sorry it's not the best time of day for me to film this hillside with the sun glare and everything, but I filmed it earlier. We're going to put together some videos, so you guys are going to have more than my sighting report. We got the witness, and he's going to let us put up certain details of his sighting experience. But yeah, it was right up there in the ridge line between the trees, and he seen it take about 3 steps across the clearing. He says that he seen the creature for a good 15 seconds, and he seen it moving. When you see something moving, you know, there's no doubt. I mean, if it's just standing there hiding behind a tree, it's like, but he saw it walk across the clearing, so I think it's a very credible sighting, and we're finding physical evidence that backs up what he saw up there. I mean, between this dead deer and that ridge line, we have found 9 footprints that look pretty good to me, and they're all about the same size. So we may be coming back and checking up on this location. We threw the helicopter up a couple times, and we'll see what's on that. Does anybody else have anything they want to add?
I said he was, you know, for sure certain that it wasn't anything. I asked him, you know, dark like a moose, and he said, yeah, dark black. It wasn't no deer, it wasn't no nothing else. It was upright and walking, and it was dark.
Bipedal.
Yeah.
He specifically said bipedal.
This guy's an outdoorsman. He hunts and fishes.
It tripped him out, so you know what I mean. They were ready to get out of here. You got that freaky feeling.
Yeah, he spent his life around animals, on the farm and on, you know, out in the wild. So it's a very credible, reliable source, in my opinion.
In the Sasquatch area.
Yeah.
Very, yeah. I would like to point out that the Hardscrabble Creek sighting is probably, if you can go fly right across the mountaintops, 10 miles, you're there. There's no doubt in my mind it's probably about 10 miles from here if you could cut across the mountaintops. And that's in Morgan, Hardscrabble Creek. It happened last year on June 1st, so
almost the same time.
Damn near a year apart.
Almost
in the similar location. Someone, and that one was a black, dark brown or black one. Both witnesses in both accounts say that it was pretty much black to them.
That's right.
All right. Well, we'll look around a little bit more, maybe throw the helicopter up again. But exciting to be at a Bigfoot sighting location so soon after it happened.
Greasy chicken.
Yep. Piece of fried chicken.
Heck and old.
We're coming back from investigating a Bigfoot sighting that just happened recently within a few days.
Slowly raising up out of the water, getting to the bucket of shit.
Never had to bust out on a basket. I mean, you could get baskets to make it a little bit more efficient, but
Yeah.
you know what? We were out there all night long anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is where the sighting location happened in Lost Creek. We used to camp there a lot as kids or high school kids, early 20s. We spent a lot of time there. So
You're looking at Lost Creek. It's like this all the way back for about 2 miles, and then it's nothing but lake, reservoir, turkeys and deer. Deer right there. Yep, right up there, a couple of them.
I've seen more bucks than I have goats.
Definitely seen a lot of them. Got something walking a little. Yeah, something walking around. I think we ended up going through town
Yeah.
instead of taking that other side road to cut it all off. I'd rather go through the town though. A little side road sucks.
I really would have liked to film earlier, but the road was just too rugged that we just got off of. We waited till it smoothed out before we started filming us leaving Lost Creek area.
We'd have people screaming at us because they were puking.
Well, like, hey.
Yeah. Hear my poor dusty truck squeaking. This really hasn't changed a whole heck of a lot since we were younger. You want to know it?
No,
I mean,
not
there's
really.
really not a lot.
There's
A lot
probably
of growth that's happened here.
there's just probably a couple more homes. Most of these homes have been here since we've been kids.
That's just because kids grew up, local kids grew up, and decided they didn't want to leave home.
Well, buy a little piece of mom and dad's property and stay and help them. Why not?
Man, who wouldn't? It's a beauty.
Wonder how many,
Right over there, off to the left, is where they did the old line. See the motorcycle incline? Going up that steep shit.
yep,
They have that Widowmaker.
that is a little bit. Dude, that's some pretty bitchy stuff, man. That's straight up and down. Yeah, that's some crazy. Hey, you just turn the whole thing, turn to spin it.
Yeah, I gotta loosen some stuff to do it. That's what I'm doing.
Widowmaker. That hillside right there, you can see the bike tracks cutting up the mountain. Here, I'll stop up here. Oh, I got a car coming up. I'm gonna go off to the side and let the car pass us.
Yep, there's the Widowmaker.
Right here, me and Jeannie were in
all
my little car
sideways
and I
and
tried
stuff.
to do it.
Well, I gotta do what I gotta do. I got this on a tripod in the
That's
car.
all. It's all good.
Driving like backwards and all of a sudden zipping around.
Probably better than looking into the sun like they have been.
My little Honda Prelude right off the top.
There's the cement.
Especially with this dirty,
There's the cement.
dirty freaking window, man.
There's a cement plant at the mouth of Lost Creek. Deer right at the cement plant.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking that dude got lucky and saw a Bigfoot because that Bigfoot was coming in because of that deer screaming. That doe that was trying to give birth.
Was it him? Was it him? Actually, what? I guess what I'm saying is it could have been responsible for the situation in the first place. It might have caused that birth to take place.
The Bigfoot may have scared the doe
Curtis
into
could have walked up on something happening where it backed the Sasquatch up to check out the situation and was watching what was going on after it had snuck up and who knows? I mean, it could have snuck up and I would imagine it would have wanted to wait and
We didn't
watch
see any visible damage to the deer at all, though.
No,
They
no.
say that the fawn was already dead because he tried to pull the skin off its legs, pulled right off.
Well, it was like
Oh, so she was walking around with the dead fetus and trying to pass it.
trying to pass it, you know.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That poor mom.
Which is probably
And her.
why it was stuck in the first place, because you don't have a fetus trying to work its way out either. Like passing a giant